Every single one of us, I myself included, we have things that are in our lives that we need to change and rectify every day. What we do is we have a highlighter, which correcting this and this one and this one and this one every day. There's things that we're working on. The Muslim, he never gives up on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He knows that what Allah has in store is far greater and better than what other people might say. How many people do we know today, brothers and sisters, that we meet, that we understand their lives has changed for the better when they put that mindset in? How many people do we know who changed their situation, they rectified their lives for the better, and their nafs just went up, shot up to the sky, and they came with true high aspiration? When someone gives up in perfecting or correcting or rectifying themselves or the society they live with, it's when you give up and you believe you cannot rectify the situation of your community or yourself. This is one of the ways of low aspiration. And this is something many people fall into. For example, they may see excessive evil around them and ocean of calamities and tribulations and trials and problems and division and discord and disputations that takes place amongst the Muslims. And the person, what does he do to perfect the situation and to rectify it? They give up on all of that. Once they see the evil widely spread around them and they see the problems in every corner, the disunity, the hate, the prejudice, discrimination that's present amongst the Muslims, the person gives up in rectifying the problem and going forward in being a means of good or a means of a rectification. He won't be able to. He doesn't have it in him, or she doesn't have it in her to stand up in front of this destruction and this tie of problems. And the person chooses not to exert their effort. The person becomes lazy and unable to do it. And all of this is because of al-ya'su min al-islah. The person gives up in rectifying anything. And say the same. The person is falling into sins himself, and he sees how he's addicted to one sin after the other, and he sees himself swimming fi awdiyati radila. He's swimming in a valley of humiliation and problems, and you find that person, after looking at them, he gives up in rectifying his own situation and pushing himself to the highest stages and highest levels. He gives up on all of that. Rather, what might happen sometimes is he might even think that rectification is impossible. It will never happen. No one can do anything about my problems. No one can change society. No one can change the problems that are happening in the world. No one can. And the person starts to think that the deficiencies and the mistakes and faults and shortcomings that are present in me are all what? Innama huwa. It is. He believes that it is a reality that he can never detach himself from. What I am in right now, the problems I am in, what I have put myself into is something I can never change. And no one can ever change it. This is what the person starts to think. What we say to that person is that all of that is a form or a way of low aspiration. And that person has a very low mind. That person's nafs is very little. And what you have is that you are incapable. You are incompetent in facing the painful and hard things in life. وَهَذَا لَا يَلِيقُ. And that is not befitting بِالْمُسْلِمِ الْحَقِّ, the true Muslim. No, a true Muslim should not think like that, because no one gives up in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and no one gives up in the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And don't ever allow your observation and what you look at be based on material things. The Muslim, he never gives up on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He knows that what Allah has in store is far greater and better than what other people might say. Or what is in front of you. The reality in front of you might be big to you. You might magnify it in your mind. But what you have to remember is, it is not greater than the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the wisdom of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't make your observation, don't make what you look at and what you observe be all materialistic things and the outer appearance. Connect your heart every time to the one that made all of this happen. To who? The generous one, the giver. Fill your heart with happiness. have faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He, Allah Azza wa Jalla, سَيَجْعَلُ بَعْدَ عُسْرٍ يُسْرًا. After every hardship, Allah is going to make it ease for you subhanahu wa ta'ala. Believe in that with unwavering conviction. وَمِنْ هُنَا, and from this point inshaAllah ta'ala, and this moment, with that in your mind and that feeling in your heart, stand up wherever you're able to in advising those who are around you and calling to the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and changing your own affairs and the shortcomings and the faults that you have. Be content with the little. If it's not possible, what is not possible? Al-kathira, the many. And also try to reduce the evil around you, even if you're not able to remove it in its totality. At least you've stopped one evil. And if everyone thinks like that, then the evil will be stopped. Some people, they think, either I have to rectify this situation in its totality, or I'm not going to do anything. No, you might be able to rectify something of this problem, some issues of it, and not in its totality. Don't worry. Al-umuru biyadillah. All Allah tabarak wa ta'ala controls things. All you are is a weak slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do the best that you can. It's not something that should occur from a Muslim. And yarda li nafsihi bidun, that he is pleased with the bare minimum. And that he leaves off training himself and nurturing and cultivating himself upon that which is good. He leaves it off with the claim that أَنَّ تَبَدُّلَ الْحَالِ مِنَ الْمُحَالِ. Changing is from the impossible. The person says, I'm not going to work on myself. I'm not going to put the effort in. Because wallahi, changing is not something that's going to happen for me. My life is the way it is. I can't change it. I say, this is the reality. Allah created me like this. I can't change this. What is needed from each and every one of us, that we take the means. And that you work every day to complete yourself. You know when you came into this world that you were not complete. You were deficient. And every day you're working towards perfecting your situation. And every day you're trying to what? Get rid of and eliminate and eradicate those mistakes and shortcomings that are present in you. How many people do we know today, brothers and sisters, that we meet, that we understand their lives has changed for the better when they put that mindset in? How many people do we know who changed their situation? They rectified their lives for the better. And their nafs just went up, shot up to the sky. And they came with true high aspiration. وَقَلَّتْ عُيُوبُهُ, and his mistakes became so little. Why? How did that all happen? It all changed because that person trained themselves. And that person exerted effort and hard work. They reached the point that they reached. How many people do you know that that's happened for? Let me tell you or read on you a statement said by the great Imam, Al-Imam Abu Muhammad Ibn Hazm, Rahimahullah. Ibn Hazm, he talks about his tajribah, his experience with how he trained his nafs. Every single one of us, I myself included, we have things that are in our lives that we need to change and rectify every day. What we do is we have a highlighter which correcting this and this one and this one and this one. Every day there's things that we're working on. And there's things that we have that are good that we're just nurturing. We're nurturing those things. We're making it better. And there's other things that are deficiencies in us that we're trying to, inshallah ta'ala, correct and perfect them and learn how to make it better. Ibn Hazm is mentioning the same about himself. And this is present in everybody. Ibn Hazm is a great scholar. He's talking about how he worked on himself. Ibn Hazm said, I had in myself many mistakes, many shortcomings, faults, errors. He said, I went out and I trained myself. I worked on cultivated, nurtured myself. He said that. And he mentions how he did this. He said, I read, I looked at, I did ittila' and read over what the prophets, may Allah be pleased upon them, said. And he said, I also read what the virtuous, wise people said, al-muta'akhirin, the latecomers, wal-mutaqaddimina, the early ones. And I went over what the prophets said. Not just Muhammad, but all the prophets, what they said before. I looked at the virtuous people, the wise people, whether they be in the early times, the Sahabas and the Tabi'in and the Tabi'u Tabi'in, and those who came after them. I looked at what they said, fil akhlaqi, in manners, wa adab in nafsi, and the akhlaq, what they said about it, etiquettes and manners. I looked at all of that. And he said, I struggled in curing those faults and errors that were with me, until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helped me and aided me, that I was able to overcome many of those mistakes and shortcomings that were present in me. Allah helped me subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now listen to this. Ibn Hazm is saying, I saw in myself faults at the beginning. كانت لي عيوب. I had mistakes, not one. He said, كانت لي عيوب. I had many mistakes and shortcomings and errors. So first of all, what he did was he recognized that there are faults and mistakes present in him. Rahimahullah ta'ala. And then he went out on the conquest of finding out the cures for that illnesses or those mistakes that he has. So he said, I read the statements of the prophets. He said, I read the statements of the wise, noble, righteous people, the early ones, and those who came after. I read their statements. And what he did was, he read what they said about manners and etiquettes, what they said about the nafs and the manners of the nafs and how to nurture the nafs and control it, restrain it, resilience, forbearance, patience, endurance, and qualities that self-discipline, all of those words that we all want. He said, I struggled in finding the cure for it until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helped me. We know we can't do anything without Allah. Allah tabarak wa ta'ala is the one that can cure us from all of the problems and the shortcomings and the errors that we have. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what happened? He said, Allah tabarak wa ta'ala helped me. Ala akthari dhalika, the majority of those things. And He helped me with that, with His kind generosity and His favors. Allah tabarak wa ta'ala chose that to do that for me. So that's the ending of the statement of Ibn Hazm rahimahullah ta'ala. You can find it in his kitab Al-Akhlaq wa Siyar, page 33 to page 34. You can find it there inshallah ta'ala. He mentions many points that he worked on and how he did it. So inshallah ta'ala, go to it. The best taba'a for it inshallah ta'ala is the tahqiq of Shaykh Abdul Haq al-Turkmani. He has a tahqiq on the kitab. So I'm going to stop there inshallah ta'ala. Anything which I have said that was wrong or incorrect is from me and shaitan, and Allah and His Messenger are both free from it. Subhanak Allahumma bihamdih. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayh.